let's get to the news. President Biden on Friday ordered airstrikes against Syria. Well, that certainly didn't take long. It's like going to a Chumbawamba concert and they open with tub thumping. I mean, we knew it was coming. We just didn't know it would be right away. According to a new poll taken at CPAC, 68% of attendees want former President Trump to run again in 2024. Only 68%? At CPAC? It's like if you went to a Fish concert and weed was polling at 68%. A giant golden replica of former President Trump was displayed over the weekend at the Conservative Political Action Conference in Florida. This news first reported in Exodus 32, verse 4. President Biden is facing criticism after declining to directly sanction Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for ordering the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Okay, if having a journalist murdered doesn't count as malarkey, what does? Biden's like one of those cool parents who says, if your kids have to kill someone, I'd rather you do it in the house. After he was publicly accused of sexual harassment by two former aides, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo yesterday issued an apology, even though one aide made her accusation from a hospital, so to him it doesn't count. In his statement addressing accusations of sexual harassment from aides, Governor Cuomo said he was, quote, being playful. You know how he's always joking around, right? Look at that face. What a prankster. Vice President Kamala Harris had a call with the International Space Station last week, and even that call had a better connection than most calls at the Golden Globes. The 78th Golden Globe Awards were held last night after being delayed for nearly 2 months by the coronavirus pandemic, though you didn't have to wait the whole 2 months in front of your computer, Al Pacino. New York City's Peter Luger Steakhouse has partnered with Madame Tussauds Museum to fill empty seats in its dining room with wax statues of celebrities, in case you're wondering where Mike Pence has been hiding. And finally, a cat in California was recently reunited with her family after she went missing 15 years ago as a kitten, or, and hear me out, cats look alike. Don't get me wrong, it's a miracle for your family. It's not the same cat. Former President Trump and former First Lady Melania Trump reportedly received the coronavirus vaccine at the White House in January. I guess that's all right. I mean, he has pre-existing conditions and she works in elder care. That's right, Trump and Melania received the coronavirus vaccine in January, but this is weird. January of 2018. So, President Biden, met virtually with Mexican President Obrador yesterday to discuss immigration, trade, the pandemic, and because it's impossible to not have an opinion on it, WandaVision. Vice President Kamala Harris today swore in Dr. Miguel Cardona as Education Secretary, and he's already outperforming Betsy DeVos. Raise your right hand. Wow! First try. This guy's good. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's administration announced yesterday that it has hired a prominent defense attorney as Cuomo faces investigations into sexual harassment and coronavirus nursing home deaths. And in a sign of just how badly things are going for Cuomo, yeah, it's him. Happy to serve. In a new episode of their podcast, former President Barack Obama sings with Bruce Springsteen. Unfortunately, this country has determined that you cannot impeach a president after they leave office. Students at the University of Texas have filed a petition to change their alma mater song titled The Eyes of Texas because it has racist origins. And just wait until they find out about the origins of Texas. It was announced yesterday that the first space hotel will begin construction in 2025 and will include features such as restaurants, a health spa, and a movie theater. And if the movie sold out, you could always look at the Earth from outer space. What do you think, kids? You want to watch Vin Diesel struggle through some dialogue, or do you want to look at the Earth from outer space? That's right. They're building the first space hotel in 2025. Finally, a hotel where a room service Caesar salad should be $27. They don't have anchovies in space. And finally, actor Seth Rogen yesterday announced the launch of his new cannabis brand called Houseplant, and it must be good because he announced it again today. After Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced yesterday that he was lifting coronavirus restrictions, California Governor Gavin Newsom tweeted, quote, absolutely reckless, but I don't think it helped that he tweeted it from the French Laundry. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said yesterday that states will now receive 2.8 million doses of the newly approved Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is great, but the question was about airstrikes in Syria. President Biden said yesterday that his goal is that every teacher can receive the first dose of the coronavirus vaccine by the end of March. Said teachers may receive. Twitter announced a new system yesterday to curb disinformation about coronavirus vaccines on its platform. Any tweets about vaccines will contain a flag to let you know if the person tweeting it was a child star in the 80s. Former Trump White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany joined Fox News yesterday as an on-air commentator, so it's kind of like her old job, except now she'll be on Fox a little less. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said recently that Senator Elizabeth Warren's proposed tax on millionaires could be, quote, too messy to implement, which was then seconded by the senator from East Virginia, Guy Realperson. Wait a minute. There's no Senator Guy Realperson. And I'm pretty sure there's no East Virginia. Check it, shoemaker. According to a new poll, almost 30% of voters would entertain the idea of splitting the country into smaller regions, specifically 2. Following recent power outages amid a winter storm, some Texans were reportedly asked to treat missed days of work as vacation days, while others didn't have to be asked. According to a new report, people 75 years or older are the second most vulnerable to fraud attacks. I would say call your congressman to do something about it, but they're all on the line with the reverse mortgage company right now. Don't sell me down the river, Quigley. A small porcelain bowl that was purchased at a Connecticut yard sale for $35 was recently revealed to be a rare 15th century Chinese artifact worth up to $500,000, said the Connecticut homeowner, which is a lot. And finally, a man in California is facing a fine after he allegedly used a mannequin for at least a year and a half to drive in the carpool lane. He probably could have got out of it, but his lawyer didn't say a word. Still beats Rudy. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo held his first press conference yesterday since 3 women came forward last week to accuse him of sexual harassment, and it didn't go great. Governor Andrew Cuomo said yesterday that he feels embarrassed about the multiple allegations of sexual harassment against him and added that kissing is his, quote, usual and customary way of greeting. I'm not sure it's a great defense if you're being accused of bad behavior to say, hey, that bad behavior is how I say hello. Also, who greets people with kisses? Are you a golden retriever? I'm sorry about him. He just likes the salt on your skin. The Biden administration announced a new project yesterday that aims to, quote, get 2 million of the most vulnerable older adults vaccinated as soon as possible. Basically, they're just going to trick them. Acting Capitol Police Chief Yogananda Pittman told lawmakers yesterday that threats against members of Congress have nearly doubled over the past year, along with a 10-fold increase in threats from members of Congress. The Washington football team has announced that they will replace their cheerleading squad with a co-ed dance team. So yeah, they still don't understand why we're mad at them. Washington's like a dumb boyfriend. Okay, I did all the dishes. Are you happy now? No, you cheated on me, you idiot. According to a new study, the United States can expect 300,000 fewer births this year as a result of the pandemic, which will save thousands of lives that would have been lost at gender reveal parties. Amazon is reportedly in negotiations with the NFL for the exclusive rights to Thursday Night Football, in which case it would become Saturday Night Football. And finally, talk show host Dr. Oz helped save a man's life this week at a baggage claim area in Newark Liberty International Airport. Oz snapped into action after bystanders called out, "Help! Help! Is anybody here sort of a doctor?"